Video, we're going to look at using color grading with Lightroom to create a moody cinematic image. So the first thing we need to do is add our photograph. So this one here, it says yes. So it's been selected, so yes. This is a picture of some swans I took earlier today. And then we need to open our editing panel, which is here. And the first thing we're going to do is go down to our color grading. So we have lots of different selections here. So we've got our shadows, our midtones, our highlights, global, so that's to the whole image. So what the first thing we're going to do is select our shadows, which is this icon here, second along, and we're going to select the darker tones to create blue shadows. So you can see the change instantly in the image there, and also you can see as I move around the color wheel the kind of changes it's making, but we want to have about here, so we want to create darker tones to our blue shadows. So then we're going to go to our highlights here, and we're going to create so what we're going to do is we're going to select the colour of the light tones to create a baby blue highlights. Select here, and then we are going to go to edits up here, so under light. So we're going to brighten the overall the photograph to make the subject stand out like this, and then we're going to go to highlights and lighten the bright tones so that the sky remains paper white. Here, so we're really taking detail out of the sky there. And then we're going to go to shadows, so lighten the dark tones to see more details in the shadows, so you can really see the difference to the buildings in the background. And then we're going to go to blacks, so darken the blacks to add more contrast. So this is great for lots of different edits. You can play around to sort of tweak your image. Now we're going to go to point curve, this first one here, and use the tone curve to create a sort of matte effect. So we're going to just bring this up slightly, and it's creating a bit more of a matte sort of retro effect. Then we're going to go to our blue channel, which is here, fourth along, and use the tonal curve to balance out the blue tint and create more contrast here. So again, it's sort of playing around. You can really see what's kind of happening there, bringing some more contrast, bringing the greens in here, which we don't really want to do. We kind of want to play around with our blues here. So actually I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this down, this. So this is sort of just playing around. Maybe take up here, bring a bit more blue like this. But again, you can sort of play around with this curve so that you get the desired effect. And then we're going to go to our green channel to eliminate any unwanted greens that we might have in the image. So let's see, and it makes it a bit more magenta, but we're going to sort of take the greens out a bit of this image. So again, it's just sort of playing around to get the desired effect with this one. Now we're going to go to the red channel to refine the reds a bit here. So we want to make it a bit more blue and to kind of take those magentas out. Once we're happy with that, we're going to go down to colour. So the image is a bit too oversaturated at the moment, so let's kind of play around with the vibrance here. So take the vibrance down. And we also want to kind of make it even cooler. So I'm making it really kind of retro sort of look. And we want to sort of reduce the magenta a bit more as well. Sort of getting quite a retro blue effect here. And then saturation, we want to make the orange tones richer, so let's slide to the right here. so you can see in the background. But again, this is a preference, so I'm just showing you all the kind of possibilities with colour grading here. And then we're going to go down to our colour mixer and click orange, and then hue. So make it redder. We're going to slide to the left. So you can see in the background, we're really picking out some of those reds in the background. And then saturation, slide to the right to make them richer, make those orange tones richer. And then if we use this one here to brighten up our yellows, so there's like those reds in the background that we can see here, that are really kind of starting to brighten up. So obviously if you had a lot of orange in your image, that would really show up. And then go to yellow, click saturation, and we're going to make these richer. So you see the lights in the background, we're really making those richer. And let's go. So this is about kind of playing around with the different colours depending on the colours that you have in your image, and the effect that you would like to get. So just kind of really understanding how you can kind of edit with all the different colours here. So then we're going to go down to effects. So this is a great place to refine your image structure with texture and clarity, for example. So texture, to soften, take to the left, so you can really see it's really softening, which is going to giving it a really nice gentle feel. Clarity, to use to accentuate details and add a visual snap. So be careful how much you do this, but you might feel that you kind of want to give it that structure. And now we're going to add sort of a frame into our image, so to darken the edges of our photograph. So this has got a white one at the moment, but you can also add a darker version, and you can also do this in your presets, and you can sort of play around with the so I'm going to just take this up. You can play around with the midpoint so you can really see what's happening here, and you can also feather to soften the transition of the darkening effect, or the light here we've got, so you can see that it's really kind of feathering that transition there. And then this one here, the feathering, you can see that it's feathering the transition, and then the roundness increases the roundness of the darkening effect or lightening effect here to the center of the object. So again, you can see the effect we're getting. And then the highlights, so blend the darkening or the lightening effect here into the image. So again, you can see this one not so much. And then we're going to go down to detail, and if you want to sharpen your image at all, you can as well. I'm going to take this down because I think it's a bit extreme, but it's kind of giving you this vintage blue effect to your photograph. But again, it's for you to kind of play around and try the different kind of effects that you might want to get from your image, with all the different settings that we've gone through in this session. And to go back to presets, so there's lots in Lightroom that are already there for you. So you can see here warm contrast, and then black and white, which might be quite nice after you've made all these changes. This one here works quite well with this image. And then you can also download different presets into Lightroom as well. So these are ones that I've downloaded, so you can see all the different ones that I have, but you can add, and you can also buy different presets, and they have different, so you can look under colour, black and white, creative, so there's lots there to play around with, and you can also save the ones that you've put together yourself.